everybody. So I have decided to film a video about my favorite makeup brushes. I don't know like what kind of possessed me to film this video because it hasn't been requested or anything, but I was just sitting here wanting to film something. I filmed my Valentine's Day makeup tutorial and I was like craving to film something else where I could just sit down and talk to you guys more, because all of my makeup tutorials are pretty much voiceovers for the most part, and I feel like I'm more talking at you during those videos than with you, or like conversational talking. So I just wanted to film this video. Hopefully people enjoy it. I really hope that you do. And yeah, I always love to learn about what other beauty vloggers use, like what their favorite tools are, because it just helps, you know, and there are new brushes coming out all the time. These are pretty much my staples that I have right here. I've been using these brushes for a very long time, like shortly after my channel started. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so I'm going to start with the face brushes first, and then I'll go ahead and go into the eye brushes. A little disclaimer here, all of my animals are just like roaming freely in my beauty room. Right now my cat is in a box, literally right next to my desk. So if you hear like weird like panting or like yawning noises, it's my dogs. They get like really antsy when my husband isn't home and I shut the door on them. So I apologize for any riff-raff that might be going on. But let's jump into the first brush. This is kind of wobbly. I accidentally left it in a sink full of water, so the glue is kind of coming off a little bit. I need to get some super glue and glue it back together, but this is my favorite foundation brush of all time. Oh my god, I have like something on my nose that is bugging me. But this is the Morphe M439 foundation brush, and I love it. It is just super dense and fluffy, but it's not too fluffy to where it like kind of drags the product around. It's just amazing. I do have the Makeup Geek foundation brush, and I love that one, but if you're looking for more of like a flawless coverage, I definitely recommend this one. It will pick up any of your extra product that you have, so if you tend to go crazy or really heavy-handed with your foundation, it really is going to pick up that extra product. And yeah, I just love this for foundation. It doesn't really leave a whole lot of like streaky lines that you tend to see whenever you apply your foundation with a brush like this. Which is really nice, and it's super big and fat and fluffy, so it gets the job done really quickly. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I didn't say before, but I am going to have like the number and the brand of the brush, or like the name of the brush, listed down below here while I'm talking about it, and then of course I will have them all listed in the description box. Okay, where to go to next? I guess this one. So this is the little makeup, what is this called? Real Techniques. I always forget the name of it. This is called the contour brush. I have actually never used it for contour, although I think that it would be a really nice shaped brush for contour because it's domed and tapered, and it just kind of gets into the hollows of your cheeks really nicely, I'm sure. But I use this for my under eye. So after I apply my, oh my gosh, concealer, I will go in with a powder to set my concealer, and I always use this brush for that. I love it because it literally just gets right underneath that eye area, and my eyes are super sensitive, so if I like poke myself in the eye with a brush, it bothers me for like the rest of the day. So I love that this isn't too big to where I run the risk of doing that, and it makes it to where I precisely apply my powder. For example, if I'm wanting to do like a cream contour, but I need to set my under eye prior to doing cream contour, I'm not going to have powder all over my cheeks, which you never want to apply cream over top of a powder. So it just really helps for precise application. I love it. And now that I actually know that it's a contour brush, I might actually try to use it for that. So another Real Techniques brush that I have is the Stippling brush right here. I have some product on pretty much all of my brushes that I'm going to show you, but it is a duo fiber stippling brush, and I love this brush. I almost said blush because I use it for blush, but I love this for my Color Pop blushes and for my e.l.f. blushes because those are more cream. The Color Pop is more of like a watery consistency, and I love using this brush to apply any sort of like cream blush or maybe even bronzer too. It's just so perfect. It like perfectly hits the apples of your cheeks, and it's not too big to where it like kind of overflows and makes it like kind of messy whenever you are applying your blush. I just really enjoy precise application of my products. I'm not really a huge fan of like super big brushes because I just feel like precise application is more my thing. So speaking of contour, this is probably my best friend. At least it was whenever I first decided to partake in the contour game. This is the e.l.f. small stippling brush. Again, it's pretty much like the Real Techniques brush, but it is a lot more smaller, and so it really fits into the hollows of my cheek very, very nicely. I use this a lot with my NYX Wonder Stick. If you guys have seen me use that, it's just a stick where you draw on your contour and then you blend it out with this. I love this brush, you guys. It is definitely a staple in my collection. I would highly recommend it, especially if you are new to the cream contour game. It is going to make your life so much easier. It gives such a precise application, but you can still blend it out really nicely to where you don't have like a super sharp kind of fake looking contour, if that makes any sense. I love, love, love this brush. Now to move on to the face brushes for my powder products. This one right here is the Morphe M178. If you guys can kind of see, it's like a weirdly shaped kind of thin brush. So it's kind of like oval in shape right here, and then it's a thin brush. So I love to use this whenever I go in with my Anastasia of Beverly Hills powder contour, and I love it because I can like flip it to where it is on the skinny end to hollow out my cheekbones, and then to blend it out, I will flip it. I will flip it to make it to where it is more of like a blending brush. So I love it for that purpose, and I also love it because again, it gives such a precise application. So whenever I'm going in to contour other areas of my face with the powder products, this just does such an amazing job at placing my powders. Now for powder blush. If you guys do not have this blush brush in your life, you seriously need to get it. It is the Morphe E4. I know that so many people have been talking about this brush, but it is an angled brush. The little bristles are super, super soft. Like they're really, really soft. And it just gives such a perfect application of your blush. It's really controlled, but you can still blend it out nicely. So what I'll usually do is like angle it right here to apply initially, and then I will angle it more upwards to where I can start blending out. I really, really love this brush. All of the Morphe brushes are relatively inexpensive until you start, like this one is part of the old Elite collection, but they have the new Elite collection. I'm pretty sure that they still have this brush. But yeah, it's amazing. The price point is right, and the bristles are super, super soft. I love this brush. Okay. So for my highlight, I have two favorite brushes that I love to use for my highlighting. This one is a Morphe fan brush. Honestly, any sort of really thin fan brush like this is going to work. It doesn't have to be Morphe, but I love to go in with this first, and I will apply my highlight right here, and it just really helps because it applies a lot of product at once, but in a precise way. So I like to go up here, and then you can also kind of blend it out like that. It's just such an awesome little brush, and I know a lot of people recently have been using like the bigger fan brushes to kind of contour, which I think is pretty cool. I've never tried that, but I always think that you need a fan brush in your collection. They're just really useful. They get the job done really quickly. For example, if I wanted a highlighted look, but I was, you know, didn't really have the time to go in with the next brush I'm going to be talking about, I would just kind of like do this and then put a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and it just really gets the job done. So this is the Morphe brush. I got this actually in a collection, so it doesn't have its own like number, I guess, but any sort of small fan brush like this is going to work. Now, if I want to go in with a more precise highlight, for example, I will use the fan brush like right all over my cheeks, and then I will use this right here. This is the Morphe M504 brush. It is a very fluffy tapered brush, but it's not a big tapered brush. So I'll show you guys like one of my eyeshadow brushes next to it. See, it's just like a little bit wider and a little bit bigger than an eyeshadow brush. But I love to use this to apply like precise highlight. If I want like an overall glow, but I really want my cheekbones to pop, I will put the highlight like all over my cheeks, and then I'll put more like right here in this area. I also use this to highlight my nose right here, the tip of my nose, and then also to get a really precise Cupid's bow highlight. I love this brush. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I really, really love this brush. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm using it constantly. I'm pretty sure that I've used it in every single one of my makeup tutorials since I purchased that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the eyes. I didn't want to talk about like every single eye brush in my collection. I just wanted to talk about the main ones that I use all the time, that I use at least in most of my makeup tutorials. Yeah, these are just my holy grails. So my ride or die right here. This is another Morphe blending brush. I'm pretty sure this is goat hair. I don't want to say that it is. I don't know. I'm not really sure what kind of hair this is. I'll look it up. I do know, I have to throw this out there. So I have contacted Morphe several times. I have emails with them, I have tweets with them and stuff like that, asking them about their cruelty-free policy. And every single correspondence that I have had with them, they state that they are 100% cruelty-free, that they engage in no animal testing, and they also do not allow third-party individuals to partake in animal testing with any of their products. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm the kind of person who has faith in people, and if someone tells me something, I'm going to believe them until I have a reason not to believe them. So whenever I talk about Morphe, I know that they're not in logical harmony. I know that you know, they're not necessarily on like Cruelty-Free Kitty, I think is another really good site. I know that they aren't on those sites. I've reached out to Logical Harmony asking to get more information on Morphe. They're not on the bad list or anything like that. I haven't had any luck in getting a response from her, which I'm sure she's really, really busy. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I am a cruelty-free channel, but I'm also the kind of person who, you know, believes what people say. So if someone tells me that their makeup brushes and their makeup is cruelty-free, then I'm going to believe them until I have a reason not to. Anyways, spiel over. I love this brush. This is the brush that came in the collection with this fan brush. I'm gonna leave that collection down below if they still have it, because like I said, they don't have numbers. So I know that that can kind of be a little bit frustrating and difficult, but basically it is just a domed blending brush. That's it. It doesn't really taper at the end. It's kind of just fluffy. That does have a little bit of longer bristles in the center, and then it kind of gets shorter towards the end, but I wouldn't say that it's super tapered. It's fluffy, but it's not too fluffy. So this is what I will use to go in with my transition shade, my first initial shade. I will also use this if I am using kind of like multiple shades in the crease and I really want it to be buffed out and I'm not looking for kind of like that cut crease. I will go in with my transition shade, and then I will go in with like a darker or two darker shades after that using this brush. Absolutely love it. It's my ride or die. So then I have the Morphe M503 brush. This one is a little interesting because it kind of reminds me of my powder contour favorite brush. And what I mean by that is that it kind of has like that oval shape in a sense, to where it's not like round and domed. It's more of like an oval and kind of fans out at the top. However, it's still very thin, as you guys can see. So what I will do with this, if there is like a darker shade that I am wanting to put in my crease, after I blend out the transition shade with this one, I will take the darker shade and I will kind of pat that outer corner, and then using it sideways, I will really carve out that crease area. I love using this brush whenever I am working with a smoky eye because it's really precise and it's also very easy to use to blend out shades. So if I'm going in with a super dark shade in the outer corner, I can have that precise application, but I can also turn it to where I can really blend it out and buff it out. Another amazing blending brush that I love is this brush right here. This one is by BH Cosmetics, and it also came in a set. I will have the, actually did like a whole video on the set that I got this brush in, so I will have that listed down below for you guys, and I'll have it in like a little e-card right here. But this came in a set. It doesn't have a number, but it's basically just a more tapered blending brush, or longer blending brush, I'm sorry. So the bristles are a lot longer. I'll hold this one up next to it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So the bristles are longer and it has a little bit more of like a centralized shape. So you see how this one right here, the white one, kind of fans out. This one is kind of more concentrated. So this one is really great for buffing stuff out. This one is really great for placing stuff in the crease, but not going too high up on your crease. I just love it. And it's super soft. It's really, really awesome. I love BH Cosmetics. They have really, really awesome makeup and makeup brushes for a very, very affordable price. I love that in a company. Sometimes I wonder, like, why do we pay $30 for a tube of lipstick? You know, it just makes me wonder sometimes. So whenever there are companies out there that have like just as pigmented and just as good lipsticks, for example, ColourPop is $6 versus NARS Audacious lipstick, which is $36. And they have the same pigmentation, same creaminess, like same lasting effect. And yeah. Anyways, done ranting, I promise. I'm just in like a ranting mood tonight. But this is the Morphe M330 brush. If you guys have seen my recent, well, actually it's the only cut crease I've ever done on my channel. This is one of the brushes that I used. This brush is amazing for cut crease, or if you are just really trying to concentrate a color in that crease area without wanting to go up too high or too low. This brush is amazing. It's super, super tapered, so you're gonna have a very precise application of your eyeshadow with this. Another really awesome little technique for this brush is if you're wanting to kind of do like a halo effect eye, you can use this for the outer corner and the inner corner because it is fluffy enough to where you could use it to pat the shadow on the outer corner, but it's also tapered enough to where you could get into that inner corner of your eye without it getting everywhere. So love that brush. All right, I have 4 brushes left. This brush I've had for a very long time. It is the Sonia Kashuk brush. It doesn't have a number. It came in a set. This is the purple and gold collection. I don't think she has this out anymore. I will check her website in case she does, and I will list it down below. But basically, it's just a flat, like natural haired brush. And this is what I use to apply pretty much every single one of my all over the lid shadows, unless it's dirty like it is right now. It has a whole bunch of red pigment on it from a video that I filmed totally out of focus, and I was so upset at myself. That was like the first video that I had filmed. Literally everything was completely blurry. Anyways, so I love this brush for application, especially whenever I'm talking about glitters. So for me, anytime I have like a very glittery eyeshadow, I love going in with more of like a natural haired bristled brush like this, because it's going to hold onto your products a lot more. Like I get so much product in this brush that I really don't have to like dip into the product as much as I would with something like this. So this is a BH Cosmetics brush, and it's just, I don't know how to explain the difference. You'd have to like feel them and touch them and stuff. But you see how this one is just completely flat and doesn't really have a whole lot of body to it? I guess that's the best way to explain. This one, even though it's flat, it definitely has a lot more body, and the bristles kind of fan out a little bit more. That's like the best way that I can explain it. So another brush that I love to use for all over the lid application, especially with glittery shadows, is this one right here. It is a Bare Essentials Tapered Eyeshadow Brush. I've literally had this since I was 16 years old. It's just a tinier version of the Sonia Kashuk brush. I really love to use this whenever I'm trying to get an even more precise application, especially in the inner corner, because sometimes I will get like a little too overzealous and I will mess up that whole area. So I really love this tiny little brush. Keep in mind, like, I'm just really ultimately talking about the shape of the brushes here that I really love for certain things. You know, if you guys love MAC brushes, that's fine. If you love, I'm trying to think of another brand, Sigma brushes, you know, like it doesn't really matter what brand they are, as long as, you know, you're using the right brush type for what you're doing, if that makes sense. And I just wanted to talk to you guys today, so I needed to have an excuse, okay? So this is the Morphe M432 brush, and this is basically just a flat definer brush. Sigma has one of these. Sonia Kashuk has one of these. Like every single brand has one of these. It's just what we use to apply the eyeshadow onto our lower lash line. I love this one because it's like $4 or $5 from Morphe, and I like to save money. So for my favorite pencil brush, this actually is my favorite pencil brush. Again, it came in the set. It has product on it right now, so that's why. But I really love it because if you guys can see, it's super fat like down here, but it tapers really, really well. So if I am wanting to drag down that lower lash line eyeshadow, I'm able to do that with this brush, but I'm also able to get a really precise application if I'm not wanting my eyeshadow to be like all the way down here. You get what I'm saying? So I love this brush. Again, it came in that set. I'm gonna link it down below for you guys if they still have it available. I'm really, really hoping that they do, but if they don't, I know that a lot of Morphe brushes are really similar, which is super, super nice. So yeah. Okay, you guys, that is it. That is all of my favorite top brushes that I literally use on the daily, all the time. As you guys can see, I have like a ton of brushes back here and to my right, your left, I think. But these are my favorite. It doesn't really seem like that many, I feel like, whenever you know, boil down to it, or boil it down. What? Oh my God, I don't know what I'm saying. But I love these brushes. They're awesome. So, all right, I'm done, you guys. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. I really, really hope that you at least enjoyed laughing at me for this video. I feel like I am just all over the place, but yeah, I hope you guys have a really, really good day. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite makeup brush brand is, or like what your favorite eyeshadow brush is, something like that. I am really interested in learning more about my viewers' favorite tools because I like to switch up my tools. You know, recently I have been using the oval brush set for my cream contour, and I'm really liking it. I can't say that it's a staple yet, that's why I didn't include it. But yeah, so just let me know what you guys think, and I hope that you enjoyed this crazy video. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!